Yes, sir.
What's good?
Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to another marvelous episode of Overreaction Monday. I am the governor of college football, and with me is a guy that needs no introduction, the mayor of college football downtown, Nino Brown, aka Vince Carter. He's gonna be ducking on a
Where
lot
my
of people
money?
today.
Where my money? Give me my money.
Hey, I feel like you about to be Ryan Garcia today, boy.
I
And you
drank
got
on
the
Monday. I drank on Tuesday. Didn't even matter.
I want some money on Ryan Garcia this weekend, so I'm super happy about that. I know we ain't, are we like in the beginning of the NBA playoffs, but who cares? We're here to talk about the greatest sport there is, college football. Let's kick it off, Nino, with some rapid fire one-liners. I might refer to you as Vince for the rest of the show, Vince Carter. Tony Muskett went 10 for 18 and had 2 tutties in the blue-white game.
And he's still not the starter. sorry, homie. Hey, my guy went 15 for 16 for 102 yards. Both of those guys only played the first half. My guy only played like the second quarter. Come on. Come on. Let my hot freshman, hey, well, he'd be a sophomore now. Let the gunslinger come in. Yes, I understand Tony Muskett's healthy, which is cool because last year it was very bad for him.
Yeah.
He couldn't stay healthy. He came back and forth, and he missed the end of the year because of it. He's been there a while. He's a veteran in the room. He's going to be there. Maybe there's a battle. It's Anthony Calderona's job at the end of the day, and let's just leave it at that.
I love it. Jeremy Helinski throws 3 tutties and as Black defeat White 21-13.
I called it.
You did.
I told you. I said, watch out for we love Bachmeier, right? Like, and Bachmeier played well. He did throw an interception, but he did play well, right? Yo, my man was just diming him out there. Number 12. Get used to seeing it, okay? Because he's the future over there. What he was 12, 21, 200 something yards. Not one, not two, 3 touchdowns. They look good, right? But I mean, they also, when he was throwing the ball, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There was no tackle. They didn't tackle the second half. So let's see. All I know is the arm talent was there. You know, the bucket throws were there, and it didn't seem like the stage was too big for the kid. I don't know if he's going to take over the job right away. If Bachmeier can't right in the ship or keep him in games early, what they got to lose but to go to my man.
I would have to agree with you. I almost felt like the NCAA sent you the script on Friday night when we was doing a preview. It's one thing to like call in to be right a couple of times, but to be right all damn weekend, bro.
I was quiet too. I could have been nonsense. I was like, nah, I'm just gonna chill. It's early. There's a couple more games I might miss. But like, hey, as far as with Jeremy Helsinki, they've gone to freshman quarterbacks before. Hartman.
Yeah.
Right? And I believe the quarterback before Hartman was a freshman. But it was also because they had no choice.
Right.
I think the reason was they know what they got in the kid, right? Bringing a veteran, he's going to probably take over the job for the year and guide the kid for a little bit. And then we'll go from there. But like I said, the future at Wake looks pretty good at the quarterback department.
It did. And it's funny how you was just talking about Wake. I didn't really hear a lot of media talking about him. That is interesting. Offense beats defense 30-29 in walk-off fashion in the JMU spring game.
Yo, I was kind of like surprised a little bit here. I thought we were going to see some really boring football. All the guys were gone, right? All the main guys were out the room, but somehow, some way, they managed to put together a pretty decent spring game. And we got, a couple of guys here that might be something to look out for coming out in the future. Was there anyone that you really like at James Madison, like in this game? Because for me, Dylan Morris is taking over the quarterback room, right? Because homeboy's gone. Jordan McLeod is now going over to Texas State, and I believe he's going to just take off at Texas State. I think that's perfect.
Oh, for sure.
But I mean, Dylan Morris is going to be the guy, and then we saw a little bit. They only gave him a couple carries, but the North Texas running back, Ayo Adayo, Adayo, you're about to see the emergency. He flashed a little bit at North Texas. I think you could think they're going to give him the rock at James Madison until they kind of figure out what they got at the quarterback department. He's going to be the guy that's going to just right the ship for them this year. But I thought there was going to be a flat.
That's what.
And they had a little bit of, again, it's an overvalued practice.
Mm-hmm. It is.
We saw a little wow factor that I wasn't expecting.
It's interesting how well run that JMU program is. I still think that's the best smaller stadium game day atmosphere there is. I haven't been everywhere. I've been a lot of places, but their game day atmosphere is amazing. They won before they made this jump up. They won a national championship. 2016, I think it was. Yeah. Also, you saw them playing an NCAA basketball tournament this year. Mm-hmm. It's a well-run program. They understand sports. I was interested to see, and it's the only reason why I brought that up in one-liners, after everything they lost, coaching staff included, for them to still be competitive.
Yeah, but Chesney was surprised. Mm-hmm. It seems like he's got them believing in whatever style of football, because it's going to be totally different than what they ran last year. It's not even the same pocket, so.
Yeah, so I can't wait to make it out to Bridgeforth to see what this team looks like in person. Blue defeats Gold 28-21 in Notre Dame spring game.
Micah Gilbert is gonna be a something special, huh? Oh boy, like they can't keep wide receivers over there, right? Like they lost a couple, but Micah Gilbert, the freshman, just 2 touchdowns. This is the first time you're able to see the kid. It was like 5 catches for 100-something yards and 2 touchdowns, and both touchdowns were long touchdowns. Right, let him find a little something that he likes. I think we're going to see this kid a lot early for a very good reason. He's a playmaker. And there's a reason why we wanted to interview with the kid. This is the reason why we wanted to talk to him, because we saw the potential in him, and he just flashed again. It's glorified practices, but you're going against these dudes. They already know what kind of player you are, and you're beating them on national television. That's something I want to talk about. How many times, when has it been that this many games were on national television for spring?
We're seeing a boost up in, we always talk about casual fans, and really there's not really a lot of casual fan bases as far as their support for their university. But when we say casuals, we mean just overall antennas for the entire sport, not just for the team that you support. So it's pretty good. What's up, Monte? What's up, Dennis? I call that man Dennis. What's up, D now? And that's the first and last time for that. So let's get into some hyperbole. And I seen a message you put on X, so I can't wait to hear what you got to say about this. Arch Manning dominates in his second spring game appearance, proving that the old way of redshirting, learning the process, trusting the process still works. 335 yards, 3 tutties, including 2 75-yard touchdown passes. Nino, what were your observations for Manning performance and overall takeaways from the spring game?
That dude left his pamper in the locker room finally. He grew up. He grew up from last year to this year, right? You see his comfortability in the pocket. You see him go through reads, and you kind of saw a little bit of, I'm done being the kid in the background now. Like when he was just in command of the offense, a couple times you saw him look over to the sideline. Like, I got it. It might be Quinn's job right now, but the future is mine. And if he fumbles or if he gets hurt again, and I'm a Quinn guy, but he's just letting everybody know he's not afraid no more. Like, I think he needed that. I really did think he needed to sit down for a little bit. You saw the growth of the throws. You like the 2 deep throws because you mentioned it. Mm-hmm. Throw to me that I thought was absolutely perfect. And I was like, okay. He took a step. The throw to Blue for the touchdown. Mm-hmm. But that was an NFL throw. I mean, he was moving to off his foot, just zipped the thing. And he had a semi-side off throw. Zipped the thing to Blue. In stride, because nobody touched him. Touchdown. Like, he's seeing it. He's seeing everything. He's reading the field. The vision is getting there. The growth, the maturity is done. Do I think he's better than Quinn Ewers right now? No. It's spring game. It's practice, people. Relax a little bit, please.
Yeah, fan bases do that. I think if we go back a year ago, right, and we talk about this Texas team. People were talking about how bad Arch Manning looked in that game, and people were kind of talking up Malik Murphy like he was supposed to be this big thing. And then when he got, and then when Quinn Ewers got hurt, we seen him in the Kansas State game. He flashed at some points, but that was a game they really could have lost. But thank goodness they didn't, because they don't make the college football playoff without winning that game. I think it's important to make sure you guys are maintaining the same energy that goes to fan bases, that go to media personalities. You got to be even killed with some of these players, because as Nino alluded to earlier, it's practice. It's spring. It's a fantastic to see, yes, but just jumping out the window and saying, "Oh, he needs to take Quinn Ewers' place right now." Just wait. Why are we rushing this thing? But the one thing I want to talk about, I'm gonna go off script a little bit here, Nino, but I know you're good. The wide receiver core, I thought there would be a slight step back in production. Losing Jatavian Sanders, losing AD Mitchell, losing Xavier Worthy, but is it?
It's practice. Okay. The tackling's not really allowed.
No, it's not real. It's not.
But they went out and see, the thing was, we talked about how Quinn Ewers has trouble with the deep ball. So what did they do this year? They went and tried to eliminate and make him have to throw the deep ball. They got speedy guys that can be physical, so that you can get your yak and go early. Not because he's not going to throw the deep ball, right? And I know people can say, "Oh, you had a pick." Oh, my Lord. It was a tip ball at the line. We're really going to do this now, right? This is what we're really, really going to do, right? Like, come on now. Oh, shout out Joe Clark.
Yeah, shout out Joe Clark, man.
Shout out Joe. Appreciate you. But yeah, I don't think the wide receiver room is took a step down. And I want to just go out there and say, hey, how about my guy, Ryan Niblett? Oh, he's too small. No, he's not going to make it. Texas. I don't really know about it. Well, he looked pretty freaking good, right? Again, practice, but he showed what he can do. Showed he's got good hands. Showed he's got good body control. He tested. All these young kids showed. They made it a point, though. They made it a point in these spring games to show these kids that were 4- and 5-star receivers. Hey, now, will Niblett play in the season? Probably not. Okay.
Right.
Because we've seen them showcase the other guys last year and they just kind of fell back. So I think Texas is in a good spot. But my guy Quinn cannot get complacent. That's all. He just can't. But all three quarterbacks played well. Even the third stringer threw for like 100-something yards and a couple touchdowns. So.
All righty. So, just 3 days ago, right? We previewed the USC spring game. And you have an amazing soundbite, and I dropped the ball because I don't have it ready. But you stated that Miller Moss being the starting quarterback isn't as much of a foregone conclusion as many people initially thought. I looked at you like you were a little crazy, but you was like, hey, they went to the portal and got, how you say his name?
Jeremiah Villa.
Yeah, Jeremiah Villa from UNLV. And he outperformed most of this game, 15 to 17, 172 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. First and foremost, great take, but I always like to go back and ask you this question. And I feel like we do it to say like why were you so confident in that statement?
Well, I was stopping because I looked at Jeremiah Villa's body of work last year. Okay. Look at 3,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. Yeah, he did have 10 interceptions. He was a freshman. This is what he put up as a freshman, okay? Like, he worked, and UNLV was good last year, okay? Against Kansas, 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. Like, the kid has game, but everybody likes the shiny new toy. The last thing you saw was Miller Moss in a bowl game throwing for 5 touchdowns against backups. And guys were playing because players opted out, right? So, yeah, it was cool. He had a good game. And I get it. He never was going to see the field with Caleb there. But before Caleb transferred to USC, did you ever hear about Miller Moss? Right? Nothing. I know he was a highly recruited kid, but I didn't hear nothing about, USC got a kid that,
right,
going to could start as a freshman. Jaden might be a start as a freshman. And he's also a dual threat, right? He can run. What I seen from the kid, I would take a UNLV program that was starting out something new, right? and just continued to grow. In the beginning, there was bumps and bruises. He continued to grow, and he ended up the season with over 63% completion as a freshman in an offense that he had not known, with all new pieces that they went and got this kid for a reason. And what I think is what he put up as a body work, he felt that he could better himself going to a bigger school. Okay. Well, everybody says Lincoln Riley's system is the best. Caleb Williams just said it in his pivot interview, right?
Yeah, he did.
System, and Lincoln Riley has the best system for a quarterback. That's why he wanted to go to Oklahoma. Well, I think that's why Jaden Ivey wanted to go to USC. And I don't think, they say things, and everyone say, well, it's coach talk. And coach said, oh, I had a chance today. If it were to start the season right now, it would be Miller Morse's job. Of course it would be. Because, if he didn't say that, he's in the portal.
Right.
You can't lose that veteran presence.
Yeah.
You got to keep that kid.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to come and revisit
say it
this.
after April 30th.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're going to come revisit this in a little while. We're going to see. I'm telling you, the battle's going to get really, really hot from now until, the end of fall camp. And people that are just saying Miller Moss has this job locked up. I'm not saying the kid's a chump by any means. Right? Mm-hmm. He can throw the ball. It's fact. He has a howitzer. He can make the reads. I just can't. Just like I said last year, that I don't believe that Drake May was the consensus lock number 2. Mm-hmm. I don't. I'm on that fence still. I planted that flag. I'll stay there.
I remember the gentleman's bet as well.
I don't know. I just honestly don't think that, Miller Moss has the QB1 role locked up in there, because I think Jaden Ivey brings more of an aspect to the game with the mobility aspect to him.
And that seems to always be a thing with Lincoln Riley, coach offenses. We got a question here. How do you feel about Georgia being a front runner for Kamani McLean? I don't.
I think Memphis is the front runner right now because they're offering him to play both sides of the ball. They told me he could play wide receiver as well.
Is he going to put the work in?
You talk about these guys, right? And I'm not knocking any kid. I mean, I don't know anything that happened at Colorado, just like I don't know anything that happened at Florida when we talk about Prince Umalele, right? Umalama, whatever his last name is.
Umalele. Yeah, you good.
Yeah. But you can say all the shit you want to say. Mm-hmm. I can pull up the film. I pull up the film. You took plays off, homie. You got burnt in Arizona State by the littlest moves. You got smoked. The slightest suddenness. You got burnt. Yes, you. Don't go out and say you want to play for a coach that's not playing for clicks. I mean, just move on. Start fresh. Do your thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing that happened with Prince. I watched games at Florida, bro, where you just were lugging coal around in your behind and was slower than anybody else, taking plays off, looking at you. You were counting the blades of grass on the ground, bro, instead of attacking the quarterback. And then there were games where you were dominant. Yes. But again, yes, my man, work ethic is terrible. That's something that matters to people. Mm-hmm. So that's why Prime said, what did we look? You ain't watching practice. You ain't watching the practice. Yeah. I am. You ain't. But if he's locked in and that's where he wants to go, because they're going to give him both sides of the ball like that, he could rebound. And then next year, make that call, Georgia. Yo, what's popping?
Yeah. The work has to come first. And this, I'm not commenting on Kamani McLean. This is just a general thing. This has nothing to do with his parenting. But I know I have the type of parents. I know Nino grew up with the type of parents. Tough love was the best love. If I was in his shoes and I was struggling to hit the field and because I wasn't working, my dad would be like, "Well, you shouldn't be starting. Why don't you put the work in? Why don't you go hit that gym before your classes and hit that gym after your classes?" So I think that has to be something. And then, like Monte said, like the team meetings and stuff like that. Come on.
Yo, Tom Brady said it best on that latest episode with the Baba. Mm-hmm. These kids are so gosh darn stuck in social media and building their brand instead of building the team. They're falling by the wayside. It's gross. Like what Hunter and him could have been this year had he put it in and locked down last year. Wow.
Yeah, I saw an interview with Travis Hunter. This was last season during the spring. It was like, it's talking about him and Kamani McLean. It was like, how well is he coming along? He's like, I think he has talent, but he hasn't worked to put in. And he wasn't saying it in like a negative way, but like if you just go back and look at that, it seems to be the same story. It's like nothing has changed. But Nino, let's get back on topic. My apologies. So I asked you why you were so confident. What were your overall takeaways from this 43-28 defensive victory? Can this team compete in the Big Ten? I know.
I don't know if
I know.
it's
a
kind
tough
of
question.
it's tough to say. Well, what I came away with is we might have seen a new Amon St. Brown emerge at USC. Jacoby Lane might be that dude.
Wow.
He might just be that dude. He's got that length to him, speed, contested catch. I heard about it all spring. Like before the spring game, I kept hearing he's taking strides. He's going to be the kid that's coming out. He's just making these wild plays. We saw it right off the rip. Maya Villa hit him. Miller Moss hit him. And then who did we see him on the sideline with? St. Brown. We see him with all of these old guys. And St. Brown kind of passed the torch to him, and saying, I need double-digit touchdowns. I need this many receptions. And I got you. And the kid said, yeah, I got, no problem. But the game was there. He proved it. And he waited his turn. Last year, we sat behind it. I know everybody wants to see Zachariah Branch be, the guy this year, and him and Deuce Robinson. But I honestly believe you're about to see the emergence at Jacoby Lane. I think this kid has a chance to do a Taj Washington. Nobody had any aspirations or thoughts that the Taj Washington was going to be anywhere in the top 15 wide receivers in this class, right? Nobody. And my man put in work this year, and I think he put himself into that realm of being a top.
He does the little things. Just hearing what his coaches say about him as far as the run blocking. Just even if he's not the first, second, or third progression, he still runs his routes just as hard. That is spectacular. So I'm excited to talk about this last one because I think this is something we both got right. Jeff Lebby and that team from Starkville, crooked letter I put on a show Saturday, and sheesh, were we right about Blake Shapen, bro? Yeah. We both had a feeling that this could be a great match with him and Lebby. 18 of 22, 312 yards, and 3 tutties. Nino, if it wasn't for Arch Manning play this weekend, I think a lot more people will be talking about Blake Shapen's performance. What were your biggest takeaways?
Maybe. I don't know. I think Mississippi State got a little bit of fixing to do, right? They got that bad taste in their mouth from how everything kind of went down and all that. So,
yeah.
My takeaway is Blake Shapen just went from an offense that just wasn't clicking for him, which I don't understand.
It didn't fit. It didn't.
It was a modified version of what he's doing now, right? But it just wasn't clicking. I think Lebby just has that way of talking to these guys and making them feel comfortable. He just looks smooth, man. Absolutely. He was just dialed in. All his passes were crisp. Moved well in the pocket. The deep ball was there. The bucket throws were there, right? Like you could see him going through his reads. I like the fact that not only was, the new guy from UTEP, what's his name? Kelly Akari, used often and early, got that touchdown. We saw. I'm all about the new faces. Okay, I'm all about the 5'11", 165-pound stud out of Pizen, Alabama, in Mario Kramer. He was just doing this thing. He had the big touchdown catch from Shapen, right? And they were highlighting. They were featuring the kid. So. You also have, I think it's Burnside and J.J. Harrell. So they have a good group of 3 young wide receivers that are, I want to say it's 2 4-stars and a 3-star. Watch out for Mississippi State's wide receiver room. Let me look comfortable, look calm. Like he looked like he was having fun out there.
Like
right?
He's been doing it for years.
Yeah, like this is, I'm good. I don't think there's pressure on him at all. Like I think he's in position of like, I can just take over here. Yeah, they're going to want some dubs this year. I just think they want good culture, right? We want to start this out with having a veteran kid come in here, the quarterback, the head of the table is on right, screwed on tight. You're not worried about the coach and the quarterback lying to each other, right? The culture is going to be right. Coming from Oklahoma, you get that solid culture. They're not messing around out there. watch out for Mississippi State. I'm not saying they're a playoff team. I'm just saying watch out for them. They might mess around and go bowling somehow.
I said those exact words on College Football Showdown earlier, and if Jalen's still in there, he's my witness. I'm like, they gonna be a scrappy 6-6, possibly 7-5 team, and don't be surprised if they take some really good teams down to the wire. I thought it was fitting today that your guy Mike Wright entered the portal today.
Oh, yeah, I mean, come on, he knew the deal, bro. Hey, I said to Andy, I think Mike Wright might be a guy that could land in Ann Arbor.
I saw that, and
I see his point too. Where I don't know if anything, but hey, a guy like that, where really all you got to do is hand the ball off, make a couple throws. I mean, that's all he's been doing his whole career: just hand the ball off, make a couple throws, tuck it, and go. I would take him over Orji. In my opinion, I think Mike Wright could be a better fit in Michigan, but it'll be interesting to see where it goes. It'll be interesting to see which Corey Brown goes as well. The Miami transfer. The couple of guys in this portal still. It's going to be interesting where they land. But yeah, Blake Shapen got that job won the minute he transferred.
Yeah, the moment he entered in the building. So Nino, before we get out of here, man, go ahead and give out a couple game balls, man.
Let me see. Ibuka's got to get a game ball. All right, he just made everybody understand that I'm here. Everybody wants to talk about everybody else in the room. Jeremiah Smith is the new guy. He got to beat me out first.
Right.
So I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna get a game ball. Blake Shapen's gonna get a game ball from me. I mean, he just dominant, right? Like he left no shadow of a doubt. I am the QB1. This system fits me, and homeboy got to go. I was big on Cam Evans. I talked about him on the Future Phenom show. UConn running back. I really thought that he would take over. Victor Rosa, my South man. Injury is behind him. He looks super, shifty and flashing again. He was receiving out of the backfield as well. I know a lot of people don't really care about UConn football, but Jim Morris Jr. is a good coach. I'm a New England guy, so I tend to stay in there. My buddy John Lobb, he's been going to UConn forever. So, I watch him a lot. But I think, especially if you're a C2C guy, you play fantasy and stuff like that, CFF guy, like Victor Rosa could be a guy looking at. He could be a running back this year that climbs. He had that run his freshman season, the last 6 or 7 games. But then, like I said, last year he got hurt and Cam Edwards took over. But it seems as though Victor Rosa is back. So I'm going to give Victor Rosa a game ball.
I love the deep dive, and I love how you never take the layup. You always deep dive. There's a kid that used to play for UConn. Speaking of UConn, Nathan Carter had a pretty good showing at East Lansing this weekend. Shout out to Jonathan Smith. I like what he's building out there. My game ball is going to Fran Brown. Everybody knows where I stand with the Syracuse program. Hey, talk your talk, Vince Carter, man. Talk your talk.
Just saying. I'm just saying. Like, I there's a reason why he went there. Kyle McCord got a connection with them already. Rondé Gatson doesn't seem to be ready to go yet, right? So watch out for T. Hayes.
But Quinn Allen was still doing the Quinn Allen things.
You want to go? You looking for them deep names that nobody else is talking about? My DMs are always open, bro. Give me a shot. I'll put you on, all right?
Hey, man, take us home,
It's been great. Spring games. We got two more weeks of spring game. Or this is the last week?
It's kind of 2 more weeks, but the
this is the last big one, right?
Yeah.
So
the bulk of
make
them.
Make sure you're able to get yourself, at least some filming on these new young kids, because just like us, there is no off season. We just grinded tape, checking out the new freshmen coming in. What we're going to see for new products for teams that have switched over. And my man, you got the slogan. Let's rock.
Hey, shout out to everybody being in here. Don't think it goes unnoticed. I truly appreciate everybody. Shout out to Joe with the donation. This show is growing. We really do appreciate it. Thank you guys for always holding us down. As I always like to say, there are no more victories in a sport that survive and advance. That's why college football has the greatest regular season. And until next time, y'all already know what it is. Uno.